Hi. Looking to see if maybe you'd be interested in purchasing this sword.
When it comes to epic Pawn Stars moments, few things spark more curiosity and more cash than a legendary sword. These aren't just antique weapons. They're links to samurai, rebellions, emperors, and in one case, $1 million disappointment. In this countdown, we're looking at 5 of the most unforgettable sword stories ever brought into the shop. Some were worth tens of thousands. Others, fake and exposed in brutal fashion. From surprise appraisals to risky trades and ancient secrets hidden inside the blade, these swords left everyone in the shop speechless. And the number 1 entry? It didn't even have a blade. But it still shocked the experts. Let's get into it. Number 5. The World War II Katana with the misread inscription. A woman walked into the shop holding what she believed to be a 16th century ceremonial katana passed down from her father-in-law who'd brought it home after World War II. She wanted $10,000 for it and had one wild story attached. She said the sword had Japanese writing on it. And years ago, a kid translated it for the family. His chilling interpretation, used for beheading Christians? The Pawn Stars were skeptical, and rightly so. Rick brought in an expert to examine the blade. What he uncovered turned the entire story upside down. This sword wasn't some religious relic. It was forged in 1863 by a swordsmith named Nagahiro. During a time of civil unrest in Japan, it had been presented to the Lord of Choshu, a rebel leader who opposed Japan's military rulers, specifically the Tokugawa shogunate. The supposed Christian inscription was actually the word Jōai, meaning reverence to the emperor. Far from a tool of execution, the sword was a symbol of loyalty. The blade was still sharp, though a bit aged and in need of reconditioning. Despite that, the expert estimated its value at $10,000. Rick, sensing a good opportunity, offered $6,000 and struck a deal. One misread word turned into a life-changing sale. Number 4. The $18,000 trade sword. Next up, a car dealer rolled in, carrying a sword that he didn't even buy with money. He had taken it as trade for a vehicle and was now hoping to cash in big, asking for $18,000. Oh, it looked old. The paperwork seemed legit. But even he admitted he didn't pay much attention when he received it. That's not ideal when you're gambling with 5 figures. Rick called in Rocco, the store's sword expert, who carefully disassembled the weapon to check the temps, where authentic swords carry the swordsmith's signature. The verdict? This was a real samurai sword, forged in the late 1500s by Yoshisugu, a respected Japanese sword maker. It was authentic, in excellent condition, and razor sharp. The value? Between $15,000 and $20,000? But this wasn't going to be a cash deal. Instead, the seller turned his eyes to something flashier. Rick's custom-built sandrail. It's an off-road beast worth around the same value after some classic Pawn Stars haggling. They made a deal. The sword plus $8,000 in cash equals the sandrail. No auction, no buyer's fees. Just a straight-up trade between 2 high-stakes negotiators. The seller walked out grinning. And Rick? He might have just gotten a samurai masterpiece for a serious bargain. Number A. The fake $1 million katana man walked into the shop with the confidence of someone holding a national treasure. He claimed his katana was signed by Koida Ishida, supposedly a descendant of a famous war general. A Japanese visitor had once seen it, and according to the seller, almost fainted in awe. The sword, said, could be worth anywhere between $20,000 and $1 million. But here's the thing. No one had ever heard of Koida Ishida. Rick brought in an expert, and as soon as they opened the sword up, the red flag started waving. For starters, the signature was on the wrong side of the temps. In true Kamakura period swords, the signature would be reversed. The name Koida Ishida didn't appear in any records. Worse, the construction and materials were all wrong. The expert broke it down bluntly. This was a reproduction likely. Made in China about 15 years ago, and worth somewhere between $50 to $200. From $1 million fantasy to a couple tanks of gas. The seller was stunned. No deal, no offer. Just a harsh reminder that not every sword in the attic is a lost artifact. Number 2. The Tokugawa Crest Samurai Sword. Sometimes, the Pawn Stars take a big risk, and this time, it was Corey. He bought a sword for $1,500 without calling an expert, just pure instinct. The others were ready to roast him. Until the truth came out, when Mike, the shop's trusted sword expert, arrived. He examined the sword the traditional way, no shortcuts. He carefully removed the handle and revealed 2 critical marks, the swordsmith's signature, belonging to a 5th-generation master, the Tokugawa family crest, the ruling clan of Japan for over 250 years, back then. Using this symbol without permission could get you executed. Along with your entire bloodline, this sword wasn't just old, it was a genuine samurai weapon. It's made by a respected craftsman, for someone high-ranking, possibly tied directly to Japan's most powerful dynasty. Mike estimated its value at $5,000 to $6,000 in current condition. But if restored, $15,000, Corey decided to go all in, spending $3,300 on expert restoration. When the sword returned, fully polished and rewrapped by traditional artisans, it was stunning, razor sharp, beautiful online. 100% authentic. Rick was impressed. And for once, Corey got to say, "Told you so." Number A. The scabbard that hid a secret fortune. This one's a twist. A man brought in what looked like a broken sword. No blade, just the scabbard and handle. It had belonged to his grandfather, who brought it back from World War II. He wanted $8,000, hoping it was some kind of lost relic. Most people expected it to be worthless. But Rick called in Mike again, and what he found was shocking. This wasn't junk. It was a hug mount, a style crafted in southern Japan around the early 1800s. These were legal to keep during post-war confiscations, even when the blades were taken. Then came the real surprise. As Mike examined the scabbard, he discovered a hidden compartment, a secret coin pocket tucked inside the mount. No gold was inside, just fake replicas. But these pockets were once used to hide real coins, worth up to $10,000 in today's money. Even without the blade, this mount was rare. Very rare. Mike estimated its value at $8,000. Just for the mount and hidden design, Rick, needing profit margin, negotiated hard, and they settled at $5,000. No steel, no edge, just wood, silk, and history. And it still made the list. Every sword brought into the Pawn Stars shop is worth a fortune. Some are fake. Some are forgotten. And some, like the ones you've just seen, are legends in steel. From $1 million illusion to a Tokugawa treasure. These 5 swords prove that history can hide in the most unexpected places. Sometimes it's etched in the blade. Other times, hidden in a scabbard pocket. Or traded for a sandrail in the middle of Las Vegas. These swords didn't just impress the shop. They told stories. Stories of war, honor, risk, and rare rewards. And if there's one thing we've learned, the next great discovery might not be in a museum, it might be in your garage.